Hey friends, how y'all doing today? I don't have my glasses on so I can't see that good. I hope you aren't getting tired of getting ready with me, but honestly, I find it so convenient to be able to do these videos while I'm getting ready and not have to carve out separate time to record and create content. But I was thinking about the video I did the other day on, what do you call it, unconventional thinking and non-traditional thinking, especially when it comes to creating income and having jobs and things of that sort. You know, I've shared how I did grow up with traditional parenting and thoughts of go to school, get a good job, and you'll be okay. And so I knew that was the route that I was supposed to be taking. I knew college was always the route that I was supposed to be taking because that's what the people around me were doing. So I never questioned that. But when I sat back and reflected about what I thought about being when I grew up, you know, what I thought about as a child, and I know my mother says that I always wanted to be a teacher. And I kind of remember that. But then as I got older and had a better understanding of dealing with children, I understood that I really didn't want to have a job of dealing with children all day. And I always knew I wanted a family. So I didn't want to have to come home, you know, and deal with children at night too. I guess I didn't get that enough of a maternal instinct or something. I don't know. But anyway, when I think about it, I can't recall ever having in mind, oh, when I grow up, I want to work here. I want to do this. I know I've heard people talk about how they had a dream of always working at Disney or Apple or Microsoft or some huge company. Like for them, that was, you know, the ultimate thing, you know, to let them know when they have arrived. I can't say that I ever thought that. I actually remember wanting to be a housewife. But I just because of the way I grew up, I never thought it was a real possibility because I grew up with two parents working. I grew up in a two-parent home where both of them worked in order for us to maintain the lifestyle, you know, that my parents wanted. So I always, you know, because that's what I saw, I always thought I'm going to have to work. I didn't think being a housewife was an option. But so it kind of, you know, makes you think about how your environment molds your thought processes and your beliefs for what you're supposed to think should happen. And I know by the time I did have children, I used to always talk about, you know, them becoming a business owner and having their own versus working for someone else. I at least, you know, had tried to instill that in them. Unfortunately, I don't think I was able to instill the confidence level that they needed in order for them to do that. And I just didn't have the skill set or the tools to do that as a single parent. So, you know, for right now, they are in traditional jobs and they are taking that path. And hopefully, well, I won't say hopefully, one day I will have enough for my children to give them a monthly stipend, create a trust for them. So if they can work if they choose versus having to work. Now my children are already adults. They are, Lord, I forget. My son just turned 27. I forget my own age, so don't think I'm just forgetting my children's ages. 27 and my daughter is getting ready to turn 31. So granted, you know, they've been working for several years, but the goal in mind is to be able to let them retire early if they choose to. And for a long time, I wanted to be able to create a business that I could pass on to them so that if they worked, they would be working in the family business. It just didn't turn out that way. It didn't happen that way. But those were my thoughts. I never wanted to see them in a traditional job working for someone else. And it pains me to see them in that now and the struggles that come with that and them having to, stay in jobs that they don't necessarily love or enjoy doing, but, they need the income to sustain themselves. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. Does anybody else think like that? I mean, I know the people like in my network and trading group think like that, but some of you all that aren't involved, does anybody think like that? Or am I really an alien? Comment below. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.